Alright, what is up, everybody? Holy mackerel, huh? What a amazing night. I talk about this all the time. Sometimes everything you say goes right, and sometimes everything you say goes wrong. And last night was one of those nights where everything I really predicted did amazing yesterday. I always do my picks in order of the games from, like the time frame. I started out the day 8 for 8. DeMar DeRozan hit. Isaiah Stewart hit. Kyle Kuzma hit. Julius Randle hit. Evan Fournier hit. Josh Giddey hit. De'Aaron Fox hit. And Josh Hart hit. All bang, 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 bang hit 9 straight picks. And then DeJounte Murray fell a little bit short. But then right back to CJ McCollum. He hit. Pascal Siakam just never really got it going last night. I typed him up pretty high. He didn't really get it going. Kevin Porter Jr. ended up not getting any buckets. That kind of hurt him a lot. Then Bohan led the way for the Jazz. Aaron Garland got those rebounds. He got 6 in the first half. I don't think he got a single rebound in the second half. Steph Curry went crazy. He got his points. And then my top 5 picks not to play with. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope went over by 2, I think. And then Kemba didn't hit, and Brandon Ingram didn't hit. For a total yesterday, gave you guys a total of 18 picks on the screen yesterday. And I went 14-4 on those picks yesterday. So what a great day yesterday. Got about 7 I think, games today. So let's try to have the same amount of success today. Let's get it. All right, lock of the day. Coming in hot. Yesterday we hit with DeRozan. And guess who's playing today? The Hornets. And guess who's playing against the Hornets? Karl Anthony Towns. One of the best bigs in the league. Give it to me. Karl Anthony Towns for my lock of the day. Over on his points and rebounds. They did not give him a PRA line today. Just a points and rebounds line. They're setting at 38. So like in a perfect world, they want Karl to go like, obviously he can't get 18 boards, 18 points. In a perfect world, he gets 25 and 14, something like that, which is totally doable versus the Charlotte Hornets. I anticipate Cat is going to have a big night tonight. He absolutely would have destroyed his line 2 days ago when I did a video on them, when I picked Karl Anthony Towns, had he not gotten in foul trouble. Let's hope he doesn't get in foul trouble again tonight. If he doesn't, he's going to destroy this line versus the Hornets. All right, earliest game, starting it off with Mavs versus Heat. This is the 6:30 game today. No current lines at all out for Mavs or Heat for this game. So I'm going to just give you guys my projected lines for this game and also kind of tell you how things match up. As far as these two teams matching up, obviously an East and a West team haven't played each other this year. So as far as the Heat go, man, they are great defensively. No recent success at all from bigs. None. No bigs have had double-digit rebounds, have even got close to 20 points. So stay away early. I don't know what kind of lines they'll have for Dwight Powell or something like that, but I'd say go under all Dwight Powell stuff. And as far as guard success, Kyrie Irving had 29 recently. Cam Thomas in that same game had 22, and Derek White ended up getting 22 as well. And that's it. Those are the only 20-point games that have been scored against the Heat within the last 7 to 8 games. So I know it's Luka Doncic, and it's Luka Doncic. I'm still, even though the Heat have statistically recently stopped guards, Luka Doncic right now is up there with DeMar DeRozan as far as scoring streak right now. And I'm probably going to take Luka up to 33 points. I don't know what they're going to put his line out. Like I said, there's nothing out yet. But we have to take Luka up to 33 points. So anything 32.5 and below, I'll take for Luka's over on his points. As far as how the Mavs match up. The Mavs have allowed a lot to bigs, as we know. Ivica Zubac, a couple games ago, had 11 and 10. Isaiah Stewart had 14 and 15. John Collins had 22 and 18. And Embiid had 27 and 13. That leads me to think of whatever they put up for points and rebounds, or rebounds for Bam Adebayo. Got to go over on Bam Adebayo. He's been playing really well. When teams lack interior presence, he plays really well. Like when he played the Charlotte Hornets just the other day, he had a pretty big game. So I have to think that if they put a points and rebounds lineup for Bam Adebayo, I'd take that first. I'm assuming they'll probably put that at like 31.5, 32.5, somewhere around there. But just as playing up rebounds would be probably not a bad idea either. Guard success isn't that great, you believe it or not, versus the Mavs. Like I said, they've improved their defense tremendously this season. Only 4 20-point games versus them in recent matchups. Marcus Morris, he had 21 twice. They played each other back-to-back nights. Reggie Jackson had 24, and then Terrence Mann had 21. So really it was just those those Clippers from those back-to-back nights that they played that had any success versus the Mavs of late as far as guards go. So definitely go over on Bam Adebayo. Celtics, 76ers. There are lines up for this one. A lot of history for these two. They've played 3 times this year. Their very first matchup of the year was December 1st. It was an 88-87 Boston win. Embiid had 13 and 18 in that one. Tatum had the big game. He had 26 and 16. And Jaylen Brown only managed to get 9 points in that one. And they matched up again December 20th. Here's the thing with the December 20th matchup. If you remember earlier in the year, this year, well, I guess later in last year, earlier in the regular season, there was a stretch there where the 76ers were only playing with like 6-7 guys. They were like huge. They were COVID-ridden bad. So this was one of those games. The 76ers only played 9 guys this game. And 3 of those guys that came off the bench didn't even play 10 minutes. So it was just starters out there playing the majority of this game. So Joel Embiid managed to get 41 and 10 in that matchup. Tobias Harris had 25. Their stats are going to be a little bit juiced because they played a lot of that game. Jaylen Brown had 30 and Tatum had 17 and 9 in that one. And then their most recent matchup, which was January 14th, this was a 111-99 Philadelphia win. Tatum had 20 and 11, 11 boards. Jaylen Brown had 21. Robert Williams had 12 and 14. Joel Embiid had 25 and 13. Tyrese Maxey had 23, and Tobias Harris had 17. So, looking at how they've fared each other in their recent matchups, the lines that I'm liking the most out of this game, I'm so like the Boston Celtics have kind of been one of those teams where I just don't like messing with them all that much because this is a team where like Tatum can go off one night, Brown can go off one night. Sometimes even Marcus Smart has like a good game here and there. Robert Williams can have really good rebounding games here and there. So it's tricky with these Celtics lines. But my favorite Celtics line is going to be Tatum over 7.5 boards. In his 3 games this season, he's played the Heat. Gosh, I don't know why my brain sometimes just completely goes off track. In his 3 times he's played the 76ers this year, he's averaging 12.7 rebounds. He's also been just rebounding the ball really well this season. He's been playing the 4 primarily a lot this season, and he's been dominating the glass in a lot of recent matchups, as well as had a couple of multiple double-digit rebounding games. So over on 7.5 rebounds for Jason Tatum is my favorite Celtic line. As far as 76ers lines, only 4 out right now. It's Matisse Thybulle, Maxey, Harris, and Embiid. He's got a rebounds, PRA, and a points line. His average versus them this 3 seasons, PRA-wise, is 46. And that's rounding up his 0.7s or whatever. So I'd have to think that his PRA is the best move to go. He's also just been stat stuffing like a madman of late. The other night when they had him set at 51 PRA, he almost hit it. So my best 76ers bet for this one is going to be Joel Embiid over in his PRA. He does manage to get a lot of boards versus them, and of late he's kind of been grabbing really good rebounds. It shows Embiid sometimes doesn't show he's a really good rebounder. He's like Anthony Davis like that sometimes, where he's a big guy, he just does not get that many rebounds. But he has been, and he's also been passing the ball really well, up towards 5, 6, 7 assists a game. So I like Embiid's over on his PRA, which is set at 48.5. Cavs Hawks is up next on the slate. This one does have some lines currently out. This is a 6:30 game. This one, they have played each other twice, so they have a little bit of history this season. Garland did not play both times this season. Here's the thing, though. October 23rd, Ricky Rubio replaced him as a starting guard that game. Ricky Rubio, older player, not really that talented. 23, 8, and 6 for Rubio. We all know Atlanta's perimeter defense is really suspect. If they're not the best or the worst at allowing other guards to score, they've got to be pretty close. Like I said, Ricky Rubio to get 23, 8, and 6, you have to think Garland has got to get something up close to that range. Their beginning matchup of the season, their very first one, it was a 101-95 Cavs win. Trae Young had 24 and 7. Clint Capella had 10 and 14. He played 27 minutes. Like I said, Ricky Rubio had 23, 8, and 6. And Jared Allen had 11 and 14 in that one. Then they played again on New Year's Eve, December 31st. It was a 121-118 Hawks win. Trae Young had 35 and 11. Clint Capella had 18 and 23, but he played 39 minutes. I don't know why he managed to play 39 minutes that game. But yeah, of course, if Clint Capella is going to play more than 15 minutes a game, he's going to get 23 rebounds. So that's a little bit juiced right there. Jared Allen had 23 and 8. And Kevin Love off the bench had 35 and 11. He had 7 threes. Now here's why that's crucial. Like I said, Ricky Rubio had 23 points as the backup guard to Garland when they played their first time this season. Garland didn't play both these matchups. Then Kevin Love had 35 and 7 threes. Garland likes to shoot the three. Garland's on the perimeter. That's what Kevin Love was primarily doing that game when he shot 7 threes. Or made 7 threes. My favorite line from this game has to be Darius Garland over 20.5 points. Last game didn't pass the ball very well. I don't know why that happened. Again, I've been super busy with work. I haven't been able to watch as many of the games as I would like to. But Garland over on his points is going to be my favorite one to go here. The list goes on and on for guards having success versus the Hawks. There's no reason for us to not go over on Garland here. I also like Allen in this one. In both of his matchups, he got his 25.5 rebounds mark. I wouldn't see why he wouldn't be able to do that again. In the game where Clint Capella played 39 minutes, he only had 8 boards, which I'm assuming it's because Clint Capella gobbled up 23 of them. But he still managed to get 21 points. So I would anticipate Allen to continue to have success versus the Hawks here. So my favorite, I also like Jared Allen's over 25.5 points and rebound line as well. Now, as far as Hawks lines go, Cavs have great perimeter defense. Guards do not really get that much versus the Cavs. I'm going to stay away from Trae Young in this one, simply for the fact that the Cavs have great perimeter defense. So I'm going to stay away from them. And my favorite Hawks line coming out of this one is actually going to be an under, and it's going to be Kevin Huerter's under on 18.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Here's why. Like I said, Kevin Huerter primarily plays the 3, kind of plays the 2 sometimes. He's going to be probably matched up with Isaac Okoro, a great defender. Also, as a guard against the Cavs, it's really hard to get rebounds because of all the length that the Cavs have. So I don't anticipate him to get that much points because Isaac Okoro is a great defender. I don't anticipate him to get that many rebounds, and he's probably not going to have the ball in his hands enough to really get all that many assists. So I like under on Kevin Huerter's 18.5 PRA. Grizzlies Pelicans 7 o'clock game. No Grizzlies lines up. Obviously, I think Morant had that ankle injury at the end of last game. I don't know if that's probably playing a little bit of factor into this. But so far, there are no Grizzlies lines out. In these recent games with CJ McCollum, Pelicans have played so much better. They blew out, Toronto? Was it just last night? I think it was just last night they blew out Toronto. So they've shown they have quite an incredible ability. Like, just adding CJ McCollum has made this team way better. Can't imagine what it's going to be like once Zion comes back. So I'm not going to speculate too much on Memphis just because I don't really know who's going to be playing tonight. Obviously, and the Pelicans have been playing really well of late. Not a whole lot has been able, the Pelicans have played just much better. They haven't really given up that much as far as, they were able to lock down Pascal Siakam. He was on a tear recently. So only lines I really like coming out of this one. I like CJ McCollum's 20.5 points. He's hit it the last 2 games. The only game he didn't hit it, he got right close. He got around 15, but that was his first game with a new team. Had to settle in a little bit. But I like CJ McCollum over on his 20.5 points. Grizzlies don't have the best perimeter defense. Desmond Bane isn't necessarily a great defender. So I like CJ McCollum's chances here. Also, this is a pretty high-scoring affair. It's anticipated to be a pretty high-scoring affair. FanDuel has got it set at 228, so in a perfect world, like a 114 to 115 matchup. And I'll probably pin down in the comments below. Always, if I post a video earlier in the day, I'll pin down in the comments below lines I like when they finally come out. So Memphis lines will probably have to get pinned in the comments below. But my favorite one is definitely going to be CJ McCollum's 20.5 points for the Pelicans. All right, next up on the slate is the bigger game today. Wolves versus Hornets. Now, before I even get into anything statistically, I want to tell you guys something that is kind of wild, the Timberwolves. Their over-under on FanDuel right now is set at 244. Their last 5 out of their last 6 games. 249 total points, 120 to 129. 256 points, 122 to 134. 251 points, 119 to 132. 248 points, 134 to 114. And this was their lowest scoring one of the recent. 223 total points, 105 to 118, and a 245 game of 128 to 117. I mean, it's prime pickings. I mean, this game is just going to be, as history shows, for some reason, the Hornets they get points, and the teams they play just get mad buckets. So I would have to anticipate, like I already said, the Talons line. Wolves have kind of given up a lot. Like I said, I mean, there's so much points have been scored against the Timberwolves at every position. I mean, DeRozan had 35, Harrison Barnes had 31 night, and then 21 the next night. Sadiq Bey had 24, O'Shea Brissett had 22 and 13, Nikola Vucevic had 26, 7 and 8, Sabonis had 22 and 14. Isaiah Stewart had 12 boards. As far as guards go, Tyrese had 22 and 16 assists just the other night. 22 from Derek White. Ayo DeSumo had 14 and 10. Kobe White. De'Aaron Fox had 27 and 29. I mean, there's no reason to think that LaMelo Ball can't have, 21 points tonight. They just took down his points line. I know it was just up a little bit ago, but it was at 20.1, 20.5 for 21. So I'd have to think that, if there's no faster paced game right now that I could think of on the year between the Timberwolves and the Hornets, two teams that just like to go at it as far as pace wise. So definitely anticipate LaMelo Ball to go over in his points in this one. And this one could be a little bit of a sleeper pick for me, but Miles Bridges could have a good game in this one. All-star caliber player this year. He's hit that 20-point per game range. If he's not averaging 20 points per game this year, he's pretty close to it. Probably sitting around 19.7 probably. There's been a couple of success for wings. Like I said, DeMar had 35, Harrison Barnes had 30, then he had 21, Saddiq Bey had 24. There's definitely a chance that Miles Bridges could have some success tonight versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. In recent games, though, for the Hornets, as far as their defense goes, we already went over how they faced against bigs. Talented scoring wings have kind of had their way too. Levine had 27 couple games back. Morant and Bane, they both had over 20 points. Gary Trent had 24. Fred VanVleet had 20. I don't like messing with Anthony Edwards. They've got him set to 24.5. Let's just go over on it. Why not? History shows that guards that can score the ball really well, like Anthony Edwards, for example, have pretty good success. 25 points is a little bit high for me sometimes. He's got 26, 31, 37 in his last 3 games, but he can also have 2 points in a game and 4 points in. He's really inconsistent, and I don't want to put this up here, but just because the numbers show it, we're going to put Anthony Edwards over on 24.5 points. Next up, we got Bucks Pacers. Right now, Bucks lines are a little bit messy because I think Giannis is questionable right now at the moment, so that obviously changes a lot. But as far as Pacers lines go, obviously, I thought, I'm a Bucks fan, I thought the Bucks had better perimeter defense than they actually do. They're kind of like the 76ers, where I kind of just anticipated just because they have good defenders. I thought they were, statistically, they'd be good at defense, but the off guards, or guards versus the Bucks, have kind of had just a little bit of success. Obviously, just last night, Anthony Simmons had 31 and 6. Josh Hart had 27. Chris Paul, just a couple games ago, he had 19 assists. There's no reason to think that Tyrese Halliburton can't get 7.5 assists versus the Bucks. He's an elite playmaker. Let's let that be known. Second year in the league now. First couple games here with the Pacers, he's killing it. I like I like Halliburton's line over 7.5 assists. Guards have had a pretty good, decent amount of success versus the Bucks as far as assists go. So I like Halliburton's line there. Bucks lines are going to have to get posted down below. Obviously, if Giannis plays in this one, he's probably going to have a pretty big night. So I'd have to lean towards whatever they do for Giannis. But I'll pin that down below for the Bucks line as well. And the last game of the night is Clippers Suns, 9 o'clock, late game. Nothing out right now. Without looking at anything really too intently, without the lines being out yet, I'd have to think that Devin Booker's going to have a pretty good night. Clippers have struggled against elite scorers on the perimeter. Obviously, just Luka just dropped them off the last 2 games. Jalen Brunson even was doing a pretty good job as Luka's off guard. So I'd have to think whatever they put Devin Booker at, anything under 28.5, I'm probably going to take Devin Booker's points. All right, now what you guys have been waiting for, top 5 picks of the day and the top 5 picks to not mess with today or go under on. So coming in at number 1, it has to be Karl Anthony Towns. They have his points and rebounds set at 37.5. I love that line versus the Charlotte Hornets. Coming in at number 2, it's going to be Darius Garland over 20.5 points. Atlanta Hawks give up a lot of buckets to perimeter players. No reason to not go over. Coming in at number 3, we got Bam Adebeyo on his points, rebounds, and assists. I believe Jimmy Butler is not playing tonight. They have no lines out for Jimmy Butler, so when Bam Adebayo plays without Jimmy Butler, he beasts. So I feel even more confident in this pick now than I did before. So over on Bam Adebayo's 35.5 PRA. Coming in at number 4, give me Luka Doncic over 29.5 points. I feel like this is a steal if they're going to put him under 30 points. Luka Doncic is just slapping this line. He's all the Mavs got now. Let's go over on Luka. Let's not overthink it sometimes. Let's just get the players that are feasting, the players that are doing really well. Let's just go over on them. Coming in at number 5, give me Tyrese Halliburton, 7.5 assists. Again, Bucks give up a lot of perimeter assists, and Tyrese Halliburton has proved that he's an elite playmaker. I like Tyrese Halliburton in this one over 7.5 assists. Our honorable mention will be LaMelo Ball's points. Again, they took his points down line at the moment, so I don't have his points up, but it was 20.5 like 10 minutes ago, and I was just like an underdog, so over on LaMelo Ball's points. My number 1 pick not to mess with today is going to be Kevin Huerter. Don't mess with Kevin Huerter. A lot of rebounds are not going to be rolling his way. Between Mobley and Allen, 2 elite rebounders, he is not going to have the chance to get many rebounds going his way. Like I said, Isaac Okoro mostly going to be manned up on him, I would think. So Kevin Huerter is going to be matched up against a pretty good perimeter defender, so not many points, not many assists. Won't have the ball in his hands that often because I anticipate this game to be a close one. So towards the end of the game, Kevin Huerter won't be passing it all that often. It'll be Trae Young. So under on Kevin Huerter. Coming in at number 2, it's going to be a new tradie making his debut. Stay away from Spencer Dinwiddie. He is going to be playing on a team like he's never played before where, well, he was with D'Angelo Russell in Brooklyn, but D'Angelo Russell is nothing compared to what Luka Doncic is doing right now. Stay away from Spencer Dinwiddie in making his debut tonight with Dallas. He's going to have to adjust to playing with Luka Doncic, a guy that's primarily got the ball in his hands all the time. I'm going to stay iffy on that. Stay away from Spencer Dinwiddie. Stay away, number 3, on Dwight Powell. 2 Dallas Mavericks on this list, but stay away from Dwight Powell's rebounds. Not the greatest rebounder Dwight Powell is, and Bam Adebayo and PJ Tucker are great rebounders, and they box out really well. The Heat, there's been 0 success for centers versus the Miami Heat. The numbers show that, I mean, if no one's been able to have any success recently, it's not going to be Dwight Powell. Coming in at number 4, stay away from Jonas Valanciunas. He's a pretty good rebounder in his own right. He played 2 elite rebounding teams recently. He played the Miami Heat, like I was just talking about. Don't give up a whole lot to bigs. He only had 9 boards. Then he plays the Toronto Raptors, who are very good at rebounding. He only had 9 boards. Once again, his boards is set to 10.5, so we would need 11 versus the Memphis Grizzlies, who are the number 1 rebounding team in the NBA. I don't anticipate Jonas to be able to hit that 11 rebound mark. Go under on Jonas Valanciunas. Now, this one's just a little bit iffy because if Giannis plays, it messes with stuff a little bit. But go under on Goga Bitadze, whatever his name is. Go over on Goga. No disrespect to Goga, but go under on him. Hasn't not been playing that many minutes. I don't know if that's because he's just been coming back from injury or whatever, but he's not even been played 20 minutes the last 2 games. Bucks interior defense is incredible. I don't anticipate him to get that many points, so under on Goga's 9.5 points. That being said, guys, I really wanted to get this video out earlier in the day. I just don't really like posting the videos without the lines because that makes it so pointless to me. If I just like post lines like after, like in the comment section, that's just like wasting your time watching the video. But this is still a little bit earlier than it's going to normally be, but hopefully we can have just as much success as we did yesterday. Let's get this money. Peace.